Hello again, Steve here with a few thoughts on something that I wanted to comment on, I guess. Preponderance of evidence. This is a term that's used in a legal framework typically that judges presiding over cases, I guess, have to decide one way or the other. And I think this is helpful for us to think about these sort of things as well, because even when we're going through our thought processes in terms of, is this more correct than this? Well, when we can preponder the evidence, of course, is what is it that is backing up what we're saying, right? If we're thinking about something, is this correct? Is this the right decision for me to make? Or if we're having a discussion with somebody and they're going this way or that way, we can see or ask for clarity of evidence, right? And we can preponder it. Now, preponderance basically means, I'm just reading off the dictionary so I don't have to make something up, the quality or fact of being greater in number, quantity, or importance. So if that's related to evidence, the quality or fact of being greater in number, quantity, or importance of evidence. So if there was two people, say in court case is a good example. If you're presiding over a court case, you're the judge, and there's this one guy giving this evidence, this other guy giving the evidence over here. Well, the one that has the better quality or fact, or the one who has greater number, quantity, or importance in their quality or fact is the one who's going to win on basically numbers. If somebody comes up, is in front of the judge, one guy stole from the other. That's the allegation. One guy is saying, this guy stole from me. And the guy who was stolen from has video footage, has the neighbor as a witness, or several neighbors as a witness, has on the video a confession that this guy is chuckling under his breath, or loud enough so that he could hear it. You know, this poor sucker, I just stole from him. His face is seen. There is fingerprints everywhere, etc. On one side, that's his evidence given. The other one has nothing other than just a denial. Well, the preponderance in terms of number, quantity, and importance of facts and qualities is much greater on one side. It's a lopsided equation, right? So in our lives, I mean, a lot of times we come across options. You know, am I going to take this job or this job? Well, which one has evidence along the lines of what you want? You know, you want to be close to home. You want to be able to get home at a certain hour. You want a certain amount of pay. Well, what evidence is stacked up in one versus the other? That's just a simple example. Or you want to join a club because it's going to help you to learn how to be a better speaker or something like this. Well, does it actually do that? Did you went down to it? Did you look at the material? What's the evidence in favor of your argument to do it? See, what's the preponderance of the evidence? Now, this goes along the lines, I would say, of Occam's razor, which we talked about before, which had to do with this Franciscan monk or whatever come up with this idea that the principle states that among competing hypotheses that predict equally well, right? So both of these jobs are going to lead to a certain amount of prosperity, okay? They predict equally well. The one with the fewer assumptions should be selected. And assumptions, basically, that's a key one, because if we look at at assume, assume is to suppose to be the case without proof, right? So that wouldn't meet, if you have assumptions filled, if you have two competing hypotheses which are trying to lead you to the same outcome, but one is filled with assumptions. Assumptions are things without proof. They're just sort of guesses. I assume this. Well, that wouldn't be very good preponderance of evidence, would it? So, I know it's probably not a very useful term, but in terms of our reminding us about our thinking process, which helps with our quality of life experience and us getting to where we're going, right? The more clarity we can have, the more honesty we can have, the greater ability to be aware and preponder the evidence and dispel a lot of the assumptions that we have. If we have competing options and there's ones with fewer assumptions, one with a greater level of evidence based on our preponderance in looking at it, then that's the one to select. We can throw out, we don't necessarily need to have a lot of mythologies and all this sort of stuff mixed up in our lives if it doesn't show up, if there's a lot of assumptions filled in it and there's not much evidence. So just a few thoughts. Not that anything I'm saying is correct. These are just my thought process. I just like to try to get as clear as I can with honing in on the clearest way to get anything done. And when there's a conflict between varying options of what to do, well, the one that is more sure, which has more evidence that it can work, then that's the one to choose. But also, of course, there's the communicating with others process. We can cut through a lot of what's being said when we get used to prepondering our evidence, checking for evidence, being able to question and get greater clarity on what's being said. Otherwise, we don't understand completely, or we might not understand completely. Once again, just a couple thoughts as to, ways, potential ways. Once again, sharing ideas on improving the quality of our life experience. It's just sharing an idea that I came up with, that I thought of, which I've tried out in various forms and found it to be helpful in making just clearer decisions, more quick, more rapid decisions, on the fly decisions, based on a little bit of thought and at least being able to see, okay, this one's got more evidence, and therefore this is the one to go with. This is the clearer judgment to make based on something. It's not just an unsubstantiated judgment. It's a substantiated judgment based on the preponderance of the evidence of one choice or the other, or among many choices. Hope this made some sense. I really enjoy sharing ideas on improving the quality of our life experience. Whether they improve your quality of life, I don't know. I hope so. Hope some of these little thoughts do. And if nothing else, maybe it gets the conversation going. Continues the conversation on this, what I feel is a very important topic, is our innate desire within us to improve our experience, our quality in life. Once again, great chatting, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye for now.